We're doing it!
And
Yay!
it's fit.
Awesome.
Yeah!
Oh, I'm so happy. It's actually happening. Um,
It's Kirby time.
did you have to say it like that?
No.
Okay, well, this tutorial doesn't do anything, so I'm just gonna go. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
just
start.
get into the meat and potatoes of the game.
We're gonna yeah, we're gonna delete that. That was my test
D-
file. Boom! Alright, here we go. Yes, I do actually.
yes, you do what?
It asked me if I know the copy ability, and I was like, yes, I do.
Oh. See, I think there's a little bit of a delay in the
Probably.
screen.
There's probably like a 5-second delay or something like that.
Oh, okay, word. Sweet. Hi, Kirby intro. Doink. Like, that stuff kind of looks like toothpaste. Like
What looks like
hardened
toothpaste?
toothpaste. The crystals kind of looks like hardened toothpaste. That's a bit of a
No,
stretch.
I'm not. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. I'm not seeing it.
I saw it for a second and I said it, and now I redact it.
Now
Oh,
you're just
that I
like,
saw a
nope.
shooting star last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was super
Oh,
cool. I was outside and I turned my head at the exact right second, and I saw a shooting
wow.
star.
Maybe it was a crystal shard.
Maybe
Maybe
it
it
was. Maybe it was
was.
Kirby,
Oh yeah, doing his thing, gonna save the universe.
or maybe he like picked up a star in Smash and is gonna hit Fox very hard.
That's also a possibility. Well, in this game, he does. I don't know about the universe. I don't know. I don't know how many people have played this game, but this game I've only beaten once. Right? I think we talked about this. I've only
Gasp.
beaten this game one time, like as a
Yeah,
child, and it
because
was
you knew the secret boss.
yeah, I did. Like the 100% boss, which was like really horrifying,
Yeah,
and I like that boss like disturbed me so much as a child that
he's
this entire
disturbing.
game, yeah, this entire game actually, because like when you're a kid, like you just when you know something is like off a little bit, you don't know why, but you're like, there's
But
something
you
like I'm
feel it.
enjoying this. This is really cute, but there's something a little off about it. And like I love this game. Um but like it didn't really make much sense to me, like the reason why it was the way it is, but
You just
um
accepted it as a kid.
yeah,
You're
because
just
it
like,
was like
okay, well, I guess
fun.
this is just yeah.
Um but
But
like
then,
but then also I started like you know, because you've been so supportive of like my like calling you and like with all my like Charlie board theories about Kirby.
I love
um
it.
well, thank you, because that
I've
helps.
learned. I would have never learned as much about Kirby as I do now. So
Well,
thank you.
thank you. So like like when I started like looking stuff up about these games, like it turns out that like this is like the last of like what people call the Dark Matter trilogy, which is
Hmm.
like three games who were all directed by the same person, who like ultimately
Oh.
feature like the horrible evil entity Dark Matter as like the final
Mhm.
boss or like the actual villain behind it all. Usually, Dark Matter's favorite activities include possessing King Dedede and
Mm.
being miserable. So like this is like, well, no, that's like canon. Like
Is that?
that,
I was gonna say, is that like
yeah,
listed in some description somewhere?
yeah. Well, you can see it looks pretty. Dark Matter looks pretty spooky.
Mm.
And so yeah, these three games like sort of get a bit stranger as time goes on. Like if you've played Kirby Return to Dreamland 3, that one is really odd
Yeah.
as well.
So I played that one a good. Well, actually, not as much, not so much as a good bit, but I listened to the shit out of the soundtrack. Like I've listened to
Oh
that
yeah, it's
soundtrack
amazing.
back and forth.
So
Um,
good.
and I have the emulator, but I haven't really cracked into it as I
Um,
should.
it is on the Switch if you have like a Nintendo whatever account.
For free?
No, it's like $3 a month for like the Nintendo thing, but I have it.
Wait,
So-
the online store?
Yeah, it has like a bunch of Super Nintendo games, like that you can play.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Is that like you have to do that to play online or something?
Yeah, and I got it because I played a lot of Super Kirby Clash.
What's
that was really
that?
fun. It's like a little like free-to-play like action RPG that they made. It's really fun. It's really cute. You can totally beat it for free, like even though there's microtransactions.
Okay.
And it was a really good stress reliever. But yeah, like playing all these games again as an adult, like I've heard tell about how like dark matter is sort of like a cipher for depression. And like that was a big reason like why these games sort of are the way they are. Like there's this whole kind of understanding that like the creator like sort of that's what people's like theory is.
But this was his coping mechanism?
Sort of, or something like that. And honestly,
Or
like
his
I can
therapy.
definitely see it. Because like you know, I joked about dark matter like being. Well, I should probably get some powers, huh?
Yeah.
I joked about dark matter like being miserable, but that actually is canon. Like there's
Like,
some
word for word.
yeah it there's like
Like he
some
just hates.
manual definite like there's like a manual entry for like one of the games.
How
or
did
something
that go
like
over
that.
both of those dudes' heads perfectly?
Because I'm great at video games. I'm
No,
really
it was
not
like
good
it
at
was
video games.
literally like, oh yeah, Big Rock,
I love
Kirby
his
the
power.
Rock Johnson.
Can you smell what he's cooking? Smell those Maxim tomatoes?
What do
Come
what
on
do
now.
tomatoes
Come
smell
on,
like?
come on now.
Like I could tell you what ketchup smells like, but I couldn't tell you what a tomato smells like.
That's a travesty. Oh, I know
It
what
really
power
is.
I want. So yeah, like, I can definitely see how these games can be like a cipher for depression because like, that like manual entry says like the reason why dark matter attacks planet popstar multiple times is because like it's miserable and like it can't stand to see like this
Other
perfect
things happy.
planet like happy. And so like once I read that, I was like, oh, this totally makes sense. And I think that's why like it kind of went over my head as a kid, but at the same time like you kind of know. Yes. This is like my favorite.
Man,
part.
I never really paid attention to the like stuff in the background, the autumn tree like stuff. Like it looks great.
It really does. This whole
And
this
it looks
game
like
great.
like you're doing those cardboard cutting exercises in grade school.
Oh yeah,
Like with the
kinda- it does kinda
snowflakes.
evoke that.
It looks like
yeah.
cut out a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Well, because the Return of Dreamland 3 has like that sort of like color pencil aesthetic.
Is
And-
that that's the one I haven't played on the Wii, right?
No, that's the one on Super Nintendo.
Oh wait, Return
That's
to
the
Dreamland.
confusing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry, Kirby's. Yeah, it's confusing. But yeah, that one has like that whole like color pencil aesthetic. It has like that just like really like strange like happy, but also there's something sad about it. And it all kind of makes sense to me. So like this game sort of being like a third like entry in like this depression stuff, like it totally makes sense to me. And like, you know, I kind of got a little bit into this game before I got sick. I think I was telling you this. And I like got to the first 2 planets for the first time since I was a kid, but then I got sick and I couldn't play video games in the living room anymore. So now I'm starting it here again. So yeah, I just find the whole thing like really interesting, and like sort of getting into that idea like really like sort of made me appreciate these games a lot. Hold on. I just realized I'm not looking at chat at all. Hi, Sloan.
Oh, how dare you?
I'm so sorry. I got so wrapped up. Sloan, the goal of this game is basically on another planet. there was like a planet of fairies, and then one day, like this entity called dark matter, which is the thing we've been talking about that like attacks other planets because it's really depressed. It came to that planet and like shattered like the crystal that's sort of like the core of the planet. And then Ribbon, the fairy, tried to get away from it. While she's trying to get away, it shattered the crystal and she fell to Popstar, and all the crystal shards fell to Popstar. And Kirby is such a nice little puffball that he decides to help her. And so that's what those things are whenever you see them falling into the scene. And whenever a character picks them up, you'll see what happens.
And also we have an electric meatball and chain.
The what?
It looks like a meatball.
Oh, electric meatball.
Electric meatball.
Electric meatball and chain. I was really,
and chain.
really wondering what you were talking about there. Okay.
Man, I remember being so like amazed at all the different power combinations when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so creative. Like, how did they think about that?
Well, like, so one of the more recent entries, I was like reading other people's like sort of thoughts on it on Kirby Planet Robobot, and someone described the powers like really well as sort of like the game. Like, you can get through the game like with almost anything. Like, yeah, there are sequences that require you to have certain powers. Like in this game, there's like sequences where it's like, oh, you have to have this power to like open up this bit. But like, you can get through it pretty much with anything that you want. So like the game essentially is giving you different toys to use, and that's like why that's part of why it's so fun, because like you have so many like different like toys to play with. And I thought that was like really profound.
They're all all runs are viable in the eyes of Kirby.
Also, that black ball with the orange bits around it, that's Dark Matter from the second game.
Oh, really? Oh. I thought it was also that city, or that a depiction of Jin? A Jin city? Lore or something?
So I was talking about this with you, and that like black ball of dark matter that has like the orange bits on it, like I just so happened to be researching about like Jin stuff, because I'm writing a book about Jin, and as I was looking into stuff, I saw like a diagram of like what people presume to be the Jin world, and as it turns out, it looks like dark matter. Like, it looks exactly like that. It's like a big round black globe with orange mountains around it. It looks exactly like it, and I was like really blown away by that. And I honestly, like, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. Like,
I
it's
need
a very
to
obscure.
I need to find a picture of that, because that was so cool. And
I have it. I'll send it to you. Just remind me after we're done here. I'm gonna get new power because I was like really shocked by it. Like, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I don't know. It could be a coincidence. It could not be. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you never, because like for, you know, different games, the developers will like get influence from like anywhere. And so it would be interesting to see like if there was a major cultural influence for the art or styling in this game, or if it was just kind of like, because it doesn't really seem like there is any sort of like identifiable thing like that. But that one example of that could be really interesting, like one-off, if that's what it is.
I kind of hope so, because it's so obscure. Like, it's such a strange, like, thing to draw influence from. Also, this power is not the best for this section.
No, little candle.
Well, it's also like, if I use the fire, like, it is like, there's like in the next room, there's like a bunch of like slow moving platforms, and it's like, oh, I can't. You
just have to jump from underneath. Like, hit them, and you know how you can hurt them by hitting them with your head from underneath.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can do that. I totally forgot. Also, this game is like really unforgiving. I feel like when you get hurt. Like, there have been times where, like, I've walked into a room and I'm just gonna, I don't need this tomato that's coming up. I'm gonna get it anyway. Yeah, there have been times where I've, like, walked into a room and just, like instantly died, essentially, like, from different enemies. And also, like, the sound that it makes when you get hit is, like...
Oh, like the doom, doom.
Yeah,
I love when you
like,
keep getting hit and it keeps, like, pushing you back, like, into, like, you keep rolling back, like, doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, see, I hate that part.
I mean, I use the word love,
Very loosely.
Loosely, yeah. Let's say. I love, like, sucking one of those guys' ups and then pressing R and then, like, getting a little hover. One of the pink fly dudes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ooh,
yeah,
shoot!
smash.
I didn't come here with cutter. I should have gotten cutter.
There's another. Oh, there's not. Is there?
Yeah.
Oh no, there's not.
It's okay. Like with this game, you can always come back and get like different crystals. So. Yeah. See that green block. So like with the green block, like that I passed a little while back, like there's like certain colors that like denote certain powers, and you can
like
only...
weaknesses to powers.
Oh my
and
gosh,
power combos have like checkered, like with 2 colors that represent the power up, which is neat.
Yes. Also the cutter ability, where he just kind of
goes like Slender Man for a second.
Yeah, just for a second, like he breaks off part of his body. That I only got the power.
And
just
his
to show
eyes,
it.
don't his eyes like go on the boomerang part
They
too?
sure do. And again, that was
It's
one
just
thing
an
that
eyeless blob.
I was like, this game is fun, but I'm 9 years old and this is scaring me.
And then like when you get double cutter, it's like even bigger and it's got spikes on it. And you're like,
yeah,
what?
it's pretty wild. So this game is a very interesting combination for me of like nostalgia. Oh, I should of like nostalgia, but also like sort of this weird dread in a way that I can't really explain, which like is very unusual for me, like especially for like Kirby games, because Kirby games are like generally you think Kirby and you think like, oh, fun, like
right,
like perfect, like, and this one definitely like it does have those like very sweet moments, but also it has like really scary stuff in it that like sort of makes sense to me now that I'm like grown up.
That's funny. It makes me wonder how much dread is actually secretly wrapped up in nostalgia.
Huh.
Itself.
That's very interesting, actually. I never thought about it that way.
I didn't either until you said it.
Wow.
Bum bum bum. Where's my therapist?
On the stream.
Yeah, I guess.
Special guest.
My therapist.
Oh, so King DDD just... Yeah. The guy needs juice.
That bird with a rabbit sign?
I
right?
think it's supposed to be like a peace sign of like his glove.
Is it? I always
Peace
thought
sign
it
or
was like a
something?
rabbit head, and I was so confused.
Yeah, I don't know. What I
Also,
do
I
is
love
don't
Macy's Day Parade, like DDD right there for a second.
How come he doesn't get a float?
Yeah, he should. He's
an
floating now.
icon.
He's an icon.
Hey guy.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Oh,
The all-consuming stomach.
excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Are you okay?
Wow.
You okay?
I
Oh,
haven't
sorry.
like, man.
Oh,
I
sorry.
played this game so much, and I actually haven't played it in a long time. So like seeing some of these bosses is like, wow.
Right? Like it brings you back, but like there's always been something really unique about this game that like
Also, I love the hexagonal and pentagonal clouds. They're
the
great.
clouds. Oh yeah. Just like some very odd choices in this game. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited because like I think the furthest I got when I was replaying it before I got sick was I think I got to Aquastar. which is like, I don't know, like 30, like a third.
Get the card. Oh, he's gonna cry.
I know.
I
I
love
always
that.
Felt so
I love
bad.
that cry.
It felt so bad. Oh, hey, Kevin's here. What's up, Kevin? How are you doing?
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin is my cool friend that I've been telling you about, who's been doing the Persona 4 streams.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, Kevin, this is my friend Garrett, and Garrett is the one who convinced me to do this. And is super nice, and has been with me on my stream, and has had me very long hours in the evening trying to test.
But also, you've put in so many more on your own.
Well, because the thing is, like, also this is Wispy Woods, and it's much like DDD. Every single game, something pisses him off, and he attacks you.
But he doesn't look very angry yet.
He is angry. He gets progressively angrier each game, I feel like. So I just, you know, in the next Kirby, I hope that he can find some peace and not be like irritated by aliens anymore. Because you know.
Wait, so you said the dark matter. This was the end of the Dark Matter trilogy.
Yes.
What was after that?
There were no more games directed by this director, who directed.
Oh wait, was that the
these
director
3.
that like just pieced out and like nobody knows what happened to him?
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff. I like try not to speculate about it, but like basically whatever happened is he exited the video game industry through some means, and there hasn't really been a Kirby game directed by him since. So like the 2 directors were him and Sakura, I believe. So you can see like there's like a big difference between like Dreamland 2, Dreamland 3, and this game, which are the ones that he directed, and like Kirby Superstar and things like that. There's like a big tonal difference, I feel like.
Yeah, you know, I definitely, because I think this was really the last. Oh, I did play Kirby Air Ride, but that doesn't quite count. That game was fun as hell.
I've heard.
You didn't? Oh my
No.
god, I've played hours of that game. Like, and it's literally, it's one stage.
Oh, really?
It's insane. Yeah, well, I mean, technically there's like, actually, I don't know, I think it's mostly just like one, yeah, it's like for like the main battle thing, there's like different categories, but it's like basically one stage.
I've heard it's super good, and I'm like, there needs to be a Switch port. There needs to be a Switch port.
I wonder, I bet you they'll probably do like some sort of like collection.
I hope so.
They better. It's such a good game.
I hope so.
Oh, we're going to Rockstar now.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I love
sit on this
how we
menu
go
for a
from
second.
Popstar to Rockstar.
Yeah, it's very cute. Yeah, I never played Air Ride. Oh, oops! I keep pressing the wrong
so
button. Yeah, I've heard so much about how Air Ride is so good, but the thing is, like, I played a couple of games on and off when I was a kid, but last year was like the first time that I was like, oh, Kirby, right? You know, I forgot about that. Like, I remember those being fun. I think I only remembered it because I was like listening to some like video game music compilations, and it came up, and I was like, wow, these tracks are really good. And then I kind of started getting back into it, and like I was like in a really vulnerable place in my life at that time. This was like a little bit over a year ago, I think, and it just like really resonated with me and sort of like gave me like this like feeling that like really helped me get through, and ever since then, sorry.
Yeah.
I just
Can't stop. Can't stop when you're the Phoenix.
Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, it just like really resonated with me in a way that like nothing else really had, like fictionally, I should say. So that's like why I got so into it, and that's like why like I just it's just really helped me a lot, and I want to share that with people. So I hope that they enjoy watching this.
All you have to do is hear "Hi," and you're here.
Hi.
Hi. So cute. Wait, do you know about the down drill?
No.
You can drill down, and it looks like a little ballerina. It's really cute.
I can drill down? How do I do that?
I think it's down B. Like jumping down B.
Jumping down B. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Cute.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that should be a down. That should be in Smash.
Yeah, down drill. Although
Yeah.
the rock is like literally iconic. Yeah, there it is. Isn't that funny?
It's really cute, honestly.
It is.
I
He
won't
does a little
say
dance.
I won't say which game, but he gets like a really big drill at some point in another game. I don't want to spoil.
We're gonna need a bigger drill.
I don't want to spoil anything, and like, usually people are like, "Oh, Kirby spoilers, haha," and I'm like, but no, like there actually is like story.
Game
in, like, the
mechanics
later
are
games.
spoilers.
Well, it's like it's a bit story related.
Oh, okay.
And there actually is like a lot of story in the more recent entries that like is really good, and I don't want to like spoil for anybody if they want to play it. And also like a couple of them, like I was already spoiled on before I played the game, and I was like, I don't care, I want to play the game and I want to see it. And it like was just as good. Like,
yeah.
so that was actually Return to Dreamland was the one I got spoiled on.
Okay.
What do I? Oh, I have to go. I don't remember these stages very well from when I played them in like February, so.
Those like blocks, it always weirded me out how like squishy they were.
Yeah, they shouldn't be squishy, but they are.
It was like,
I don't like it.
if something that heavy is that squishy, how does it work?
Magic.
Of
Kirby
course.
is like unique in which like there's both magic and like the wonders of space. There's like a lot of space.
Yeah,
and
that's
magic.
true. There's a lot of space.
I find that really interesting. Like a lot of the characters in like more recent games are like space magicians. Like they're aliens, but they also are like magicians.
I really like the phrase "space magician" in replacement of alien.
Yeah, it's like they're aliens, but like one of the characters like is from space and like is a space traveler and has like gone all these places, but like
Wait.
his description is wizard.
Don't those masks look like Andross from Star Fox, like the first Star Fox, a little bit?
Oh, they kind of do actually.
Like
Yeah.
like first form Andross.
Oh yeah,
in
my
development.
favorite. I'm gonna check my battery real quick. Like one of my favorite Androsses.
Totally Andross. That sounds like a show I would watch.
Totally Andros.
Totally Andross.
Oh man, I thought that would. Wait, hold on.
No, yeah, Waddle Dee is like, I'll save you.
Waddle Dee is great. Waddle Dee does not
Yes.
get enough credit.
Respect.
Respect Waddle Dee.
Put it down. Oh yeah. It's the meatball, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Cause I thought that was orange and brown, but I think that's yellow and brown.
Yeah, it's like a little bee. It's like a little bee movie.
So these horrifying orange things that get really mean when you walk away from them also disturbed me as a child.
Yeah, same. They're like
oh.
boos.
Yeah, but scarier.
But scarier, yeah.
Cause Boo,
Yeah.
like a Boo is like I
Boo
find
doesn't
cute.
look like Mario.
Yeah.
That looks like Kirby.
Oh, bye,
Oh.
Kevin. Oh, oops! I got distracted saying bye to Kevin.
Bye,
And
Kevin.
Oh, you can eat those.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
over here.
and you can eat that dude's face too.
Oh.
The chomp plant.
Okay. Whoop. Okay. Gotcha. I see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Another
I
thing
always
I
thought
like
those
about
guys. Wait, did those guys give you ice power? They do, right? Or no, they
do
don't give you
they?
anything.
You know what? Next time I see them, I will try them out. Another thing that I like about these games is that like you don't have to be like good at games. Like you don't have to be like good at like traditional platformers or anything like that. Like you can
True.
just like enjoy yourself and like they're easy enough that you can like get through it. But they also like there also is like challenges. Like Return to Dreamland, like it was easy and enjoyable. But there were points where I was like, oh, this is actually pretty hard.
I feel like
for,
the
100%ing it.
the biggest challenge for me as a kid was like the puzzles of finding out where the power combos got the crystals for. Those are really fun to figure out.
And sometimes they're like just so hidden and like so obtuse.
Yeah, right. Like the one that took me the longest, I think, was the one in it's the level that you go down the waterfall in, and you have to use the rock cutter, and you have to get like the right bird or something. Or you have to wall jump with Rick, and I didn't realize you could infinite wall jump with one of the rock
Oh wow.
carvings.
That's some advanced tech.
Yeah, and also I love how the one guy's name was Rick.
Oh, the hamster, right?
Yeah, the hamster. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just Rick.
Rick Kine, is it Kine or Kine? Kine.
I don't
Rick,
know.
Kine,
I didn't know he had a
Kine.
last name.
Oh no, there's like the three. There's like the three.
Oh, yeah. I
animal
actually
friends.
didn't know the names of all of them. I only knew Rick because that stood out to me as being funny.
Rick. Yeah, that's funny. Rick is the hamster.
Yeah.
Kine or Kine is the fish, like the sunfish.
Oh, what is does the fish do anything, or is it like Magikarp?
I don't actually.
I don't
I
think
think
the
it
fish
just
does
lets you
anything.
swim. It lets you swim faster.
Does it let you swim?
Something
I feel
like
like we should test it out when we get
Yeah. Well, if you want to do Dreamland 3, go ahead. I will be there for you.
Oh, wait, is the rock carving in Dreamland 3? All the carvings?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the actual friends themselves.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I remember. The rock carvings turn into the animals. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot.
You good?
Yeah, but I mean,
I think it's safe to say that I've played this Kirby game a few more times. This is the only Kirby game that I've played more than you, probably.
most likely, yeah, because I didn't play this until this year.
Yeah, exactly. And you've played all the other ones.
Yeah, almost. I think this is the
Dedicated.
This is the last of the Dark Matter trilogy for sure. I have like a list. There's like one or two. Oh yeah, there's the one for Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color is called Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Never
Yeah.
played that one, and I want to. So I was thinking about maybe doing that on stream after I'm done with this one.
Ooh.
That would be fun, right? Cool, because it's a Game
That
Boy
would be
game,
like a
pretty-
first playthrough.
Yeah, a blind playthrough, if you would.
Blind playthrough.
I'm pretty sure that's like the tag is. Oh, I forgot to add.
Yeah.
tags. That's fine.
Ugh.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
think that would be fun.
optimizing your SEO.
Oh, sorry. Here on Twitch.tv. Yeah, I want to play that one, and I think that my computer can handle it actually, because it's a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance game. Because part of the
I
reason,
should be able to.
why I've had so many difficulties is because like I have a MacBook Air, and like my processor is like a 1.6 gigahertz or something like that, which is like not at all what you want for streaming.
What they recommend.
Yeah, you have like a 2 point something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what you're supposed to have, but like, you know, I'm working with such limited hardware that like that's part of why we just had so many problems, and like it was just like really tough like to, but I was like, no, I have to do this, like it's not fair that like,
But here we are, damn it.
Yeah, also these enemies, these like weird ghost things,
Yeah, little ghost guys.
those scared me too.
Yeah, they were weird. They
Yeah,
kind of look like Bomberman a little bit.
So, you
Like
know what's funny,
angry
actually?
Bomberman.
So about Bomberman, since you're talking about it, so Kevin, I was telling you, like, you know, sometimes Kevin, who I'm glad you met, has, like, these, like, late night streams, like Persona, and, like, you know, sometimes, like, if he's, like, grinding in a dungeon, like, we'll, like, you know, sort of, like, line up songs to play that aren't in the game. Just to, like, you know, have
yeah,
stuff.
you were saying that, yeah.
And someone put on like a Bomberman song that I was like, oh, this is pretty chill. Woo, okay. And I was like, that's cool. And then like I realized I'm like, I don't know anything about Bomberman at all. And then remember that that soundtrack I just sent you, Bomberman Hero, I believe? That's like this really weird.
Yeah, with like all the
drum and
crazy
bass,
names.
like landlord and like it's like there's one called like photogenesis and like all this strange
So
stuff.
cool.
It's like this really like weird, dreamy, drum and bass type stuff. And I realized I don't know anything about Bomberman. And then I looked at Bomberman stuff, so I was curious, and I'm like, I don't understand this.
Wait, is your computer plugged in?
No, it's not actually. Ooh, I got a low battery.
You got a notification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just don't want this to die.
Yeah, for sure. Why? All right, why don't we take a break and I'll let it charge for a little bit.
Sure, after this level.
Cool. Yeah, just because unfortunately my Ethernet cable and my PlayStation 4 controller are taking up the 2 ports on my laptop. So I'm going to maybe plug it in. We can take a break and then let me see if my stream will do okay with just Wi-Fi. Because it might.
Could you plug your PS4 controller into your computer?
That's what I'm doing now. I tried using it wirelessly, but the problem is that like plugging it into your computer doesn't count as it being charged.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Until
That's weird. It doesn't. Is that like a thing where the computer doesn't have enough power to send to charge the controller or something?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll look it up while we're taking a break. But yeah, so I'm gonna when we come back, I will see if we can do. Eek! Wow, I'm not very good at this game.
I love how if you hold B, he like winds up. I always liked that.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, like because the noise is like.
You know all the secret tech, all the secret moves.
Well, that's what I'm here
I'm gonna
for.
Switch over real quick before anything bad happens. Take a break. Okay.
Time to throw up that screen.
Oh, yes it is. I'm gonna pause this. And then let me see. Let's put we're gonna get out of this Mario Party ass music. The Mario Party ass Osamatsu track.
Osamatsu music.
Yeah, and then let's take a little break for a while. And let me see if my internet will be chill with me being on the Wi-Fi. So,
yeah.
But we'll be back, and then I'll probably just be on the mic while I'm like testing stuff.
Coolio.
All right.
Coolio.
Let me run to my charger because I'm terrified. I don't want my computer to die after we did all this stuff. Okay. All right. BRB, everybody.
I know, right? Actually, I'm gonna. Are we? Okay. We're not paused yet, are we? Are we paused on live, like for audio? Yo, Delta. Delta.
Oh, Garrett.
Yo.
Yo, I'm just leaving the like little screen on with music.
Okay, we're paused on audio.
No. I'm okay. I mean, you can mute your mic if you want, but I'm just putting a little screen up with audio.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. You can just mute your mic or whatever you want to do.
Oops. All right. I'm also gonna. How long are you gonna charge your computer for?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna like get up and get something, and then I plug my computer in, and then I'm gonna test if I can get this running nicely without my Ethernet cable. And
okay. I'm gonna plug my computer in too to charge it. But so like when you're ready to go again, just send me a text because I'll let it charge in the other room. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, totally
All
fine.
right. Sweet.
All right, we will be back, everybody.
All right. Bye for now.